next, we got to talk about TVs, boys. You know how I love TVs. I love talking about TVs.
True.
I love watching TVs.
Telling people what TVs to
Telling
get.
people what TVs to get. That's what I was going to say. If anyone's looking for a TV or needs information on TVs, make a comment and let me know what you're looking for, because you got to look at use case. You got to look at how bright your room is. If your room is dark, if your room is bright, do I get OLED? Do I go with LCD? First, if you have a huge room and you're sitting very far away from your TV, you want to go size over tech, right? If you're 17 feet away from your fucking TV and you get a 65-inch OLED, like, it doesn't matter. You need like 100 inches. Like, get the biggest one you can get. That's just doesn't matter what kind of TV it is. Just get the biggest one you can afford, I guess.
Or sit in front of your TV on an IKEA chair.
Yes, on the Beowulf
me.
chair.
I don't need a big TV.
No, you sit right in front of your TVs. That's obvious. It's just about immersion, right? You're not immersed if you're
very much so.
If you're sitting like mom and dad sitting 18 feet away, I think they are, from the fucking TV, and it's only a 55-inch. You can barely see it. Like, you need a 140 inch. Like, that's why they have the projector.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it is. If you're in a dark room, OLED is best. If not a lot of ambient light, OLED. If you're in a bright room that's always got light, you want LED because they get brighter. Coming back to CES, Samsung has revealed their new OLED. They're finally making an OLED. They didn't do that before, right?
So they have.
Yeah, they have what's called a quantum dot OLED coming out, and my goodness, it's supposed to be fucking sick. Like, the guy from Digital Trend said it was the most insane TV he's ever seen.
Wow.
Like,
so what do you have to tell people who just bought a very nice OLED, like myself?
Well, I mean, this is still a ways off yet, and it will literally be thousands and thousands of dollars. So I think you're okay. But maybe I'll save for a couple of years and get one. I don't know. I got to see how much they are, though.
I'd have to save for 15 years to get that shit.
But anyway, the way current OLEDs work is, LEDs. Let's say how they work. It's LEDs. You have a backlight, right? Your backlight, and they just spray white light at the panel, and then there's a color filter that the white light interacts with to make your colors.
Oh.
Right? And the color filters have not much control in terms of like per pixel. Like an OLED, the pixels can turn on and off. So that's why you have perfect black. Black levels on the OLED, because each pixel can just shut off and there's no backlight.
Yeah. That OLED blacks. Oh, man.
Yeah, they're nice. So that's the way the current OLED works, which is called WOLED. It's like the OLED pixels are coated in some phosphor that makes them emit a white light, and the white light reacts with the color filter to create the colors. But it's just that each pixel can be turned off, where you can't do that on a backlight because it's just a bunch of LEDs that kind of spray at the back. So what the quantum dot does is it gets rid of that coating that are on the OLED pixels, because that coating reduces the brightness that it can achieve.
Okay. Yep.
So the quantum dot is what the new technology is. It's a new kind of color filter that's like a red and green, and the OLED pixels behind are actually blue. So they will interact with this red and green color filter to create any color, because it's RGB, right?
Like,
but
how come this is going to be getting better, Like,
well, it's going to be brighter. So like OLEDs right now don't get super bright except for in small areas. Like, you know what I mean?
I've noticed that.
Yeah. So like specular highlights, those are called, like a flame ball that's really small on the screen. They can jack the brightness up on that as long as it's in that little small area. But if the whole screen kind of turns bright, you'll notice it comes down.
Yes.
And that's to keep it from frying, because it would just overheat. So in this, they won't have that extra phosphor layer that's dampening the brightness on the pixels. So it'll be nice and bright. So apparently it's nice, bright, and the color range is bigger than currently because of the quantum dot, whatever. Yeah. And apparently they can
So what you're-
monitor. There's a system in it that can monitor each pixel for like diagnostics and like health on each pixel.
Jeez.
And like
each pixel.
adjust them. Yeah. And like an adjust through the AI or whatever. Anyway, it looks like it could be fucking unbelievable. And it looks sweet. And I would love to
So
have
what
one.
you're telling me is my $1,200 Samsung NU 8000 is not the best I could be doing right now.
No.
I would be so curious to see
It looks
what the games I'm playing now would look like on something else, of course.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, OLED is
whatever. It
very
is what it
nice.
is, I guess.
So there's LCD, LED.
I mean LED, LCD is the same. It's
Oh,
interchangeable.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.